All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to October. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Naja Nights with your host, EJ. And girl, it's October, girl. Yes, it's October. I love October. It's definitely like one of my favorite months because it holds one of my favorite holidays, which is Halloween. It's just everything. So I'm really excited. And this is the first episode of my October specials. And yes, I'm excited. So I have a lot of I've been like trying to play around with some ideas that I want to do for these episodes. So I'm thinking something I want to do is so I love like scary stories. So I have these books that I bought called Nightmare Soup, and I have another one called The Nightmare Society. And they have like a lot of scary stories in them, so I'm thinking of like reading maybe like one story per episode for October. So I have one story already sitting off to the side for me, and I'll pick that up and read it sooner or later in the episode. But until then, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how much I love this month. I love October. It's like amazing. I just think it's such a fun time of the year because even if it's a shitty year like 2020, we can still have a good time and and we can still enjoy, candy and pumpkins and leaves and pumpkin spice scented candles and pumpkin spice flavored drinks and flavored treats and all types of things. And it's just fun, even if you're a religious person, you can find something beautiful and fun out of this holiday season, whether it can be decorating, with pretty autumn colors or things like that of the sort. Like me and my mom, we were raised from a very spiritual background. We're more religious and spiritual, because Christianity isn't it's spiritual, but it's more about like reading in a book and, if you don't do this, you're going to hell, but spirituality is more balanced and, learning about connecting with yourself and healing yourself and stuff like that and healing others. But, growing up in Christianity, Halloween was always looked at as like this like devil holiday, and it's like, you should never ever celebrate it and and it's like, and as a kid I thought that. As a kid I was thinking, it's probably like such a horrible thing that's like negative and something we should never do because it's wicked and things like that. But as I've grown up, I've realized everything comes with intention. So I'm like, even with the holiday, it's the intention. I would go to different friends' houses, and they all had different ways that they went about celebrating Christmas. Christmas in my household was always approached in a certain way, but in different people's houses, they celebrate it differently. And it's the same thing with any other holiday. I feel like it's all about your intention and why you're doing it, the reason you're doing it, and the purpose for doing it. So for me and my family, me and my mom, because my family, they all live pretty far from me. It's just me and my mom that live close. I live in my mom's house, obviously. But, like we're close to each other. So in terms of how we celebrate Halloween, we celebrate it by, just decorating the house with fun Halloween decorations that we love, that resonate with us. Just, having a good time decorating, watching some fun Halloween programs, making some nice snacks and treats. My friend hates when I say treats, so if my friend Kiara's listening, girl, yes, I said treats. Get mad. She hates when I say treats. But yes, we make treats. It's delicious. And that's just what we do. Like that's how we celebrate Halloween. It's not about let's worship the devil or something crazy or over the top. And we love to hand out candy to the kids, and it's just nice to see people out having a good time with their family and just really enjoying themselves on Halloween and other different things. I love dressing up. I think dressing up is such a fun thing that people should do because it's just fun to do that. And I love dressing up even when it's not Halloween. Like I plan on doing cosplay in the future because I love cosplay. So I'm like, I plan on doing that eventually. So I'm like, I love doing that. Wearing costumes, decorating. I love going to like the haunted houses. Usually every year we would go to Halloween Horror Nights, and by every year I mean like me and my friends, because my mom would not go inside. Like she doesn't play that. But I love it. I love the adrenaline rush from like running through the houses, like the zombies or things popping out and chasing me. Like it's just like, it's fun because you're there and you know that they're just actors, like, you know, it's not real. Except for this one girl. Let me tell you about this one experience that we had when me and my friends went to this one haunted house, and they tried us for the god. So it was a haunted house experience where my mom's friend, she got us some free tickets to get inside because her friend was like working with them, and it was a haunted house here in Jacksonville. And so we went to the haunted house, and these queens tried us for the gods. Like, they we got there, and oh, hang on, you guys. Someone's calling me. Hang on, real quick. Okay, sorry, you guys. That was my mom. She was calling me real quick because she was at the store. But I'm trying to remember where we left off. Okay, so yeah, I went to the haunted house with my friend here in Jacksonville, and yeah, like, girl, they tried it because we went into the building. And so basically it was like a whole experience. So like the experience was we had to like go through these different scenarios, but I was kind of lost because I don't know what they were trying to do. Because, okay, so let me just explain to y'all. So, but I'm trying to say, like, because we were supposed to do different things. So we were supposed to start off like, it's supposed to be different scenes, but I was so, okay, I'm trying to frame it, because when I tell you the house was like all over the place, it was so all over the place. Like, let's just say we started off in like some camp with a bunch of like military officers like patting us down, and then we go from that to being in a mental asylum with a bunch of clowns. So that just lets you know how crazy that the house was. So when we first walked in, and mind you, girl, like, my friend, girl, she was losing it the whole time. I was like, girl, you about to get my last I'm gonna send this episode to her because, like, she gonna be cracking up because this was so funny. So we went into the house, and first they're like, it's like a bunch of security guards, like military officers. They're like, get on the wall right now, get on the wall. And we're like, oh. And like, they like got, and it was like us and a bunch of other people like in our group, and they got like flashlights in our face and like patting us down. And I was like, girl, y'all doing too much for me, girl. Y'all doing too much. All touching us, and like and they were scanning us because, like, apparently they were trying to see if we had an infection, like if we were zombies. And so after that, they push us through, and we go into these like other rooms, and we go through like a forest. It's like all types of stuff, like all different types of rooms. But eventually we get to like some point in the house, and this mess was so funny. Cause like my friend, she doesn't really like clowns. I don't know. She might be okay with clowns nowadays, but back then she really hated clowns. So we got to this like mental asylum, and the mental asylum, the lady was like, "Oh, you need to." So you guys know, like, when there's a morgue, if you know what a morgue is for people who don't know what that is. A morgue is basically like a room where it's like a bunch of dead bodies, and they're like in these like shelves. Or like, it's like a thing in the wall where you open the door in the wall and it like rolls out a table with the dead body on the table. So the nurse is inside the morgue, and she opened the door and told us we have to crawl through the door and go through the door. And she was like forcing us. She was like, y'all need to crawl through this door right now. Get in here right now. And I was like, And my friend was not having it because she's also claustrophobic. So she was not having it because she was like, she didn't want to crawl in a small space. And I was just like, girl. And so I was like, we have to, because there's no other way to get through the house. Like, we have to go through this little hole. So I was like, okay, I'll crawl through. So I was crawling through. My friend was like not having it. She was losing her mind, but she finally got through. But it was just so funny because I was like, it's okay, girl, because once we get through, we'll be fine. But I didn't know that. I did not know that once we crawled through the hole that there would be clowns on the other side of the hole. And my friend hates clowns. So I was like, it's okay, girl. I'm like, just crawl through the hole. We'll get through. She's like, okay. She's like, okay, EJ, okay. Girl, we crawled through that hole, and I got out of the hole, and I saw the clowns first because I went through first, and I was like guiding her through. So I crawl out the hole, and I turn around and see all the clowns staring at us, and then I was like, oh shit. I was like, she does not like clowns. And so when she crawled through the hole, when she crawled through the hole and saw them clowns, she lost it. She was like, oh, like she was like done. I was like, oh, it's over. I'm like, she was not like she was, and I felt so bad. And it was so funny because the clowns was like they were trying to scare us, but they felt so bad because she was like losing her mind that the clowns actually broke character to help her out because like she lost her charger. I don't know how she lost her charger. Her charger, I guess it fell out her pocket. It's like her phone charger. So she's like, I need my phone charger. And so, so all the clowns like broke character. They were trying to help. They were sweet though. They were so sweet. They broke character and was like helping us find her charger like real quick because she was like losing it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was the cutest thing. And it was funny because the clown, he was holding her charger in his hand. And he's like, come get it. Come grab it from me. And she was like, oh my God. He's like, come grab the charger. And then she went up and grabbed it from him. But that was like hilarious. I was like, oh my God, this dang haunted house experience. And then there's other rooms that we went through. Like one room was like slanted. It was throwing me off because I was getting like super dizzy. I was like, what the heck is this? But it was like super fun though. It was just that clown part and the part in the beginning when them guys like they had us on the wall, and I was like, girl, I didn't sign up for this, girl. I didn't know y'all gonna be pushing me up on a wall and scanning me and stuff. But it was really cool though. But yeah, that's like one of the things I love so much about October, like stuff like that happens, like fun Halloween houses and scary movies and all types of stuff. So I'm really excited. I know this is going to be a great month. You know, I mean, it's different because the whole pandemic. Oh, 2020. Oh, the pandemic and all the masks and crap and all that stuff. Speaking of the pandemic, oh my gosh, I just watched the South Park pandemic special last night. Girl, that mess was so funny. If you like South Park, I know some people don't like their humor. They feel like it's a bit too much. I will say that episode was a bit tame. It was a bit tame, but if you love some good comedy, girl, and if you have a sense of humor, then I say watch it. It was pretty funny. It had me laughing. I just like how they made light of the whole situation of us going through the whole pandemic and stuff like that. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to continue doing my podcast, is because like even though I love my podcast a lot and it's a lot of fun for me, I know that it can just help somebody and cheer somebody up through the stuff that we're going through right now currently. And just help us get through this, you know. So yes, girl, but that was hilarious. Y'all gotta watch it. But yeah, I'm just like, these haunted house experiences, it was just everything. Like I'm also wondering how are we going to get through the whole trick-or-treating season and just all that type of stuff, trick-or-treating, Halloween Horror Nights, all this stuff with everything that's happening. And I'm just like, this is insane, y'all. It's insane. But I know we'll be fine. We'll get through it. But yeah, so I'm really excited to read this story. So basically, I'm trying to do a segment maybe in my shows where I read a scary story. Either it's from my book. I have like some books in my house of scary stories. Either I read from those or I'll read from scary stories online. Or if I'm lucky enough to have some supporters, if for anybody who does want to do that, if you want to comment under my podcast and send me a scary story that you found that you love and you would love for me to read it, just put that in the comment section. So I'm going to read one of these stories. I'm going to try to be funny with it. I don't know, but I'm gonna try to like do something with it, like I don't know, maybe use an accent or something. I don't know. This story is about this story that I want to read is called Skin Soup. And it's about these people in a diner. So I don't know if it's like a country diner. I might use like a country accent for one of the characters. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna try this out. Let's see how this works. If it's cool, then I'll keep doing it. If it's not, then I'm just like, girl, we done. I'm not doing this no more. But okay, let's try this out. So this story is called Skin Soup. Let's get into it, girl.
Hey, excuse me, miss. I'm talking to you,
said a greasy, heavy-set man. Katie rolled her eyes as she walked past the booth. Then she took a breath, forced a smile, and turned around. Yes, what can I do for you this time?
I'm sorry, but this chicken noodle soup is just unacceptable. It's not hot enough, and it tastes like the cheap stuff you buy at the value market. I thought this was supposed to be homemade.
It is, sir.
Well, can you have the cook try again? Surely he can do better than whatever this is.
Sure thing. We'll get another bowl out to you as soon as possible.
Tell them not to use as much salt. My dog wouldn't even eat this.
Katie grabbed the bowl and walked back to the kitchen. I hate to do this to you, Johnny, but the guy says he wants another bowl of soup. He says this one is too salty or not hot enough. It doesn't taste right. Something like that. What? This will be the third one. Johnny threw his arms up in the air, frustrated and tired. He was a skinny, middle-aged man with a quick temper. He was also the owner of the struggling diner. You and I both know there's nothing wrong with that soup. Everyone loves my soup. I swear, some people make it their mission in life to be jerks. Wait, what'd she say? She said, I've been serving this guy for over an hour. Can you give it one more try? I really need the tip money, even though I doubt this guy is much of a tipper. Next page. Katie was a college student who needed every dollar she could make. She was pretty, but always looked a little run down from being overworked, studying too much, and not getting enough sleep. Yeah, I'll give him one more. Guy thinks he can come in here and insult my food. It's almost closing time. I'm tired and ready to go home. Here you go, Mr. Food Critic. Johnny poured another bowl of broth and noodles, and then added some different spices and some vegetables. It smelled and looked fantastic. And one more ingredient. Johnny peeled a large sliver of dry, dead skin off his nose and dropped it into the soup. You're not seriously going to serve that, right? I certainly am. I'm the boss, and I'm not making another bowl. This guy deserves it. He's one of those people who think servers and cooks are just slaves that can be ordered around. Katie looked at the soup for a good 10 seconds, trying to decide what to do. Fine, just because I'm ready to go home. Katie walked out the front of the diner where the man was waiting. He was the only customer left in the place. Finally, took you long enough. Katie bit her lip, fighting back the urge to say something in response. The man grabbed a spoon with his pudgy fingers, holding it like a caveman, and then slurped up some soup in a disgustingly loud fashion. By the way he was devouring it, Katie could tell he was finally satisfied. This is absolutely delicious. Well worth the wait. The herbs and the spices, they are delightful. Soup was spilling from the bowl onto the table as the man lapped it up like a hungry animal. Once he was finished, he got up, paid with a ridiculously large tip, and left without saying a word. It was one of the oddest customer experiences Katie ever had. The next night, the man returned. He promptly sat in the same booth and waited for Katie to take his order. Not this guy again, she mumbled to herself. Hey, good to see you again. What can I... Oh, no. This is Katie talking, sorry. She said, hey, good to see you again. What can I get you tonight? The man tapped his fingers together in anticipation. I'll take the chicken noodle soup again. Please tell the chef to make it exactly like he did last night. Alrighty, we'll get that out to you here in a bit. Katie walked back to the kitchen and leaned up against the wall. You'll never guess who's back. Chicken noodle soup guy. Johnny threw his head back in disgust. Seriously? He says he wants the chicken noodle soup just like you made it last night. Has he been less of a jerk so far? Yeah, not too bad. Okay, we will spare him the skin soup this time, he said, laughing. Johnny whipped up a batch of chicken noodle soup, minus the dead skin flakes, and served it up. Katie delivered it to the anxious man. In fact, he was sweating with excitement. One bowl of chicken noodle soup. Here you go. Enjoy. The man quickly slurped up a spoonful right as Katie placed it on the table. Wait, this is wrong. It's missing something. This is not exactly as it was last night. I want the exact same recipe. Okay, I'll tell the kitchen. Katie placed the uneaten bowl of soup in front of Johnny, unsure of what to say. Going to the next page, you guys. Okay. Seriously? He's sending this back again? He says he wants it exactly like it was at the end of the night. Frustrated and insulted, Johnny nodded his head slowly. This guy wants the exact same thing, huh? Okay, that's fine. I'll give him exactly what he wants. Johnny scraped some dead skin from his forehead and sprinkled it into the soup like it was table salt. There you go, serve it up. Katie brought the bowl to the man in the booth. He quickly tasted it, looked at Katie with a large, jagged smile, and drank down the soup in a matter of seconds. Yes, delicious, marvelous! He then immediately got up, paid with another extremely large tip, and left without saying a word. The man came back every night for 2 weeks, and each time he brought along a friend who was just as odd and equally as rude. Soon the diner was packed every evening with these strange customers, all demanding the special chicken noodle soup. Something was seriously off about these people, but business was better than ever, so Johnny gave them exactly what they wanted. Katie knew it was wrong, but the tips were so incredibly good that she just ignored her conscience. Then one night, Katie walked back into the kitchen and noticed Johnny rubbing some lotion on himself. His arms, his face, and neck were raw from peeling off skin. He was using himself like a human cheese grater. "Johnny, this is insane. Look at what you're doing to yourself." Johnny hung his head for a moment. "I know, this is crazy, but the business was so good, I just couldn't stop." Katie walked towards the door. I'm going to tell them the soup is no longer available. They can order something else or leave." Katie walked out into the crowded diner where all of the strange characters were anxiously waiting. Sorry. "I'm sorry to disappoint you all, but we will no longer be serving the chicken noodle soup. I'm very sorry. We're out of the special ingredients." The customers started yelling and screaming. The original chicken noodle soup man stood up, his eyes fiery and intense. "You don't understand. We need our soup. We need it now." The other customers continued to scream and yell. Johnny could hear everything from the kitchen. His temper started to rise, and a couple seconds later, he completely lost it. He burst through the door and yelled at the top of his lungs, "It was skin! My skin! The secret ingredient you love so much was my gross dead skin sprinkled into your soup. How do you like that, huh? You come in here every night, rude and demanding, treating my waitress horribly. Yeah, you tip her well, so what? That doesn't mean you can be complete jerks. No more soup, no more skin soup. You can all leave now. Goodbye." But all the customers just sat there silently. The chicken soup man stood up again. His stare was cold and unnatural. "Wait, it was your skin that tasted so good? So delectable?" Johnny looked around in confusion. Yeah, I guess so. You can all leave now. Sue me. Do whatever you like. I'm done with the restaurant business. Please leave." The man took a step forward and started to drool. "It made the soup so savory, like a rare spice. It was delicious, magnificent, a wondrous journey for the taste buds. I must have more. And look, everyone, look at all the delicious skin he still has." Johnny took a step back. "You're creeping me out, man. I know what I did was horrible, but the restaurant is closed. There is the door." The chicken soup man took another step forward as all the other customers silently stood up, each one of them salivating and biting their lips. "But we can't leave. Oh no. We're still hungry, and there is so much of that succulent, tasty skin to go around. Enough for all of us." Katie realized something horrible was about to happen as the diners lumbered towards Johnny like zombies. Suddenly, the chicken soup man rushed forward with a ravenous, gut-wrenching scream. The other customers sprinted right behind him. Johnny tried to go for the back door, but there was just too many of them. Katie stumbled out of the front entrance, screaming so loudly she almost popped her own eardrums. She fell hard on the concrete of the parking lot and looked back to see the diners devouring Johnny, feasting on his skin like a rare delicacy and smiling like it was the best meal of their lives. She sprinted down the road looking for help. The sound of Johnny's horrific screams fresh in her mind, as well as the stench of hot, savory chicken noodle soup. So that's the story, y'all. Oh my god, that story is insane. When I first read that story, maybe a month or two ago, when I read it in the book, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so yeah, I was like, I wanted to make sure that was the first one I read for my podcast for this episode. Oh Lord, that was just insane. I'm just I cannot believe that he still, I understand, because it's he felt like it was good for business to keep serving them the same meal, but that was a complete turn when I found out, when they said that there's a whole diner full of these creepy people. I was like, oh, this is not going to end well. I'm they're going to try to eat him or something of the sort. But yeah, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. If you did, please let me know. That was fun to do, so I might do more of those. Yeah. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I just want to make sure this is a nice, quick little episode. And yeah, I'll definitely be coming back with some more topics for October. We got a lot coming, a lot coming. I might do some reviews of some stuff. Maybe I might watch or we can probably discuss a nice horror movie. I can discuss some iconic movies and stuff that happened in them, or maybe something like that. So we'll see. We'll just let it happen organically. But yeah, so thank you so much for listening. I hope you have an amazing day or night. You know, enjoy yourself. Make sure you don't get eaten by anything tonight. Stay away from any creepy people you see out in the streets. You know, as they say, the freaks come out at night, so don't walk around too late at night. All right. I'll see you guys on the next episode. All right. Bye-bye.